Okay, so it looks like we're good to go. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with the 5th episode of the documentary. Hope you guys enjoy it, because it's about to start now. Alright, let's get started, boys.
Hey, Alpha Zealot, what are you expecting from this matchup?
I'm actually really excited to see this. I think PC Chris is going to stick with Falcon most of the way through.
I went to MLG Anaheim with actually my girlfriend at the time and her friend, two people who knew nothing about the game. But we were there, the front row of the bleachers, cheering, and it was one of the few times when Melee
I remember this
felt
tournament.
like a real sport.
He wants to stay away from those platforms. He needs to control the bottom middle of the stage. Ooh, excellent forward smash from Ken, and he gets the first kill.
In my opinion, this is probably the
Accessible,
most
you
hyped
didn't
tournament
know a
I've
lot
ever
about
been
it. You
to.
didn't need to know all the technical terms, but it was a competition. It was a spectator sport.
There we go.
This is the first time Kevin ever lost to somebody, I think. Well, somebody at like a really huge tournament.
And that's when I really believed that Smash was
When it
going
mattered.
somewhere, that it was going to be big and important and mainstream, before it all crashed and burned.
Alright, let's go! Episode 5, baby. One quick thing I wanted to mention to you guys is that me and PC Chris, like, I considered him one of my rivals back in the day. Me and him would go back and forth. Like, our win-loss ratio was like practically even back then. Groovy, yo, what's up, dude? Thanks for making it.
I met him at this tournament in New Jersey. He was in this guy's house. This guy named Kip. He was just beating everyone. I'm like, who the heck is this Asian kid beating everyone like this? He was using Jigglypuff, and he would just do the same thing. He would just do back air, back air, back air, and then he would just beat everyone just like that. The funny thing is, I used to always, like, how can I say? I used to beat people, but, like, beat them kind of, like, making them feel bad. So then when I fought him, like, I would talk crap to him. Like,
Unfortunately, I
stop doing
never
that
met
stuff.
Kip.
And then, like, I would beat him. After that, he said, watch out for PC Chris. PC Chris is better. I'm like, oh, he is? He's better than me? I was like, so I gotta play this guy.
In high school, I had a group of friends, so we used to skateboard. There was 2 Chris's and posed an immediate problem. I was just Porchester Chris, but like PC just stuck. When I made a gamer tag, I was just like, I don't want to be like Dark Evil Prince 955, like I'll just be PC Chris. We'd all be skateboarding at the same time after school. It was all I did for about basically 4 years, like as a hobby, and then eventually I really broke my thumb terribly badly. I fell while like downstairs and I tried to like break my fall, and the thumb got tucked down behind my hand. You can see how like if I line up the knuckles, that one's like clearly shorter. It kind of like scared me because I never hurt myself, and like I was in a cast. And it was in my right hand, so I couldn't like write in school for a while.
It's just a quick story. This, it's not a really good story, but it's like one of my memories I had with PC Chris. So I remember I was going to MLG New York, and I needed a place to stay, and PC Chris offered for me to stay at his house. Ended up going to his house, and I actually got to, see his room and everything and all that good stuff. And, we just played Melee. That's pretty much all we did. I wish we could have done more, like, I don't know, like, drink some beers or something like that, go out or something. But unfortunately, that's pretty much all we did. I think I had, like, one random person. It could have been, like, Mewtwo with me. And nothing super eventful happened. But that's, like, one of my memories of PC Chris.
I guess like I got tired of falling, so I was like, let's just play Smash. I remember the day that I wanted to get better. For the whole day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna beat my friend, because at the time, I just could not beat him 1 versus 1. So eventually, I was like, well, maybe there's like videos of really good players. Maybe we're doing something wrong. It was when Ken was first coming around. I couldn't even understand like what he was doing, because it was just like his character was moving so fast. But I just didn't know how it was possible. I didn't even try to aim for him because I was like, this guy's too good. I looked for like somebody more local, somebody I could play with, and Wes from DA was the first person that like I really saw who was really good like in New York.
PC Chris came once he heard about the gauntlets.
We started attending New York tournaments, New Jersey tournaments.
I'll beat him, Kip, all of his friends.
Wes and all the DA guys definitely were beating us up for a while, but eventually we can climb the ranks a little more. You see yourself getting better, and like you start to understand the game more. Suddenly you're following up on these combos that a day ago they would just end in like the game.
Yes! Yo, shouts to Erect Mustache for joining Crew Dad. Thanks, dude.
Eventually
Hope you enjoy your
Wes
stay,
started
man.
Teaming, so you know, it's funny how that works.
With training from Wes,
Sup, hi, boys?
PC Chris slowly became one of the best Falcos in New York. He was even selected to represent his coast during the FC3 crew battle, and took 2 stocks from Isaiah before being knocked out.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever seen PC
As
Chris actually play in a
2005
tournament.
came to a close, PC
Like-
shocked.
It was the FC3 West Coast versus East Coast battle. That's the first time I've ever seen Isaiah fight PC Chris. I'm sorry, the first time I saw PC Chris, and I didn't really think much of him. I thought he was just some like random local player in New York that played with Wes and stuff. I didn't think that he'd be that good, but when I first saw him play, I was pretty impressed. I gotta admit that, and I guess just went out from there.
Many by placing 3rd in the MLG National Championships in New York, right behind Ken and Chudat. It was a sign that new blood was in the mix, and change was around the corner.
2006 opened up in New York too, so my goal was to place top 3 again.
The MLG opener 2006 was such a big deal because everyone knew how big MLG was now.
I knew it was going to be bigger, so I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm going to win.
And Melee was starting to get huge. That might have been like the biggest year of Melee's growth was 06.
You know, I was winning the matches I felt I should win, and then like eventually came like the opponents that like I wasn't sure, like Chudat.
I actually told him a trick to use to get out of the chain grab as Fox, just because Chu was, West Coast at that point.
Yeah, okay,
I really didn't want to see Chu and Ken just split all the winnings as usual.
And I ended up
Okay, so I got something to say about that. So, yeah, as Chillin' Dude just told you guys, he taught PC Chris how to beat me and how to get out of my chain grabs. Nobody knew how to get out of my chain grabs back in the day. I used to be able to chain grab every single person. They wouldn't be able to get out. I was like, on the home stretch, like, no, I was not able to be beat. The only people that could beat me was probably like Ken and Nazin back in the day. But after Chillin' Dude taught PC Chris how to get out of the chain grabs, that's when PC Chris started beating me and getting really, really close to beating me. And the way that you get out of the chain grab, it's like you gotta like smash DI as soon as I hit you with Nana. And so after Chillin' Dude taught PC Chris that, I was so upset. Like I found out like a year later. I thought PC Chris figured it out for himself, but I had a pretty good hint that Chillin' Dude was telling everybody after I joined the West Coast how to get out of the chain grab.
beating Chu to have to fight Ken in the finals. I don't think I fought Ken up until this point in tournament at least.
First matchup starts.
Okay, here we go.
Yoshi's PC Chris. Ken has chosen Yoshi's Story as his first stage.
Okay, and let's take a look at who's playing here. We got PC Chris. PC Chris from New York, Port Chester, New York. That's where his name comes from. Versus Ken, who's the undisputed king of Smash. He has traveled around the world and proven no one's even come close to giving him a challenge. He's lost a few times in the past.
Your wife was
but
probably
nothing
one of the
serious.
best
If PC
commentators
Chris
back in the day,
is
if not the
huge.
best,
If PC Chris
I
were to
think.
win this tournament, it would mean so much for the Smash community. It would question what everybody thinks. PC Chris is a rising young star. 6 months ago, he was only semi-respected. A year ago, barely known. 2 years ago, not known at all. And here he is in the final championship, starting to take out Ken. So excited.
And commentary did not exist before MLG in any facet that I would deem noteworthy. But when MLG started doing commentary, it was very few people that wanted to do it. Again, unlike now, unfortunately, they just pass the mic around to anyone who's wandering by. I think that's very regrettable.
Lasers! Oh!
If you ask me, but at MLG, it was M3D and JV3X3 and me and OmniGamer. Pretty much those are the only people that did it.
Looks like PC's got Ken in trouble here. Ken regains control of the bottom of the stage, and he's looking to continue to throw and combo PC to get that last kill.
Wow, and then, that's it.
Oh.
The tipper. Ken takes the first match. It's a lot about control with this game. It's about who's maintaining the momentum of the matchup. When it's going your way, you can just keep it going and get your kills. When you lose it, you're in trouble.
I just remember once I got into Grand
Since I was on
Finals,
West Coast,
just
I would always
wanting
be
to
next to
play,
Ken
like,
when he
really,
was
really
playing in the
aggressive.
finals
So that
versus
was
anybody.
my strategy going in, just being
mainly because like his
laser
family was there
approaching
too,
and like my nair approaching,
and also because I was West
always
Coast, so I was cheering
keeping
for
him
Ken.
defensive. Because from what I've seen, he was always like dictating the match with Marth, like making sure the other person was, you know, always trying to, you know, catch their ground and recover and just like get away from him.
Ken really invented most of the techniques that you see Marth players use during tournament play. Ooh, PC doing an excellent job on the edge here to keep Ken off.
Let's go opportunity. Oh, he got passed.
I don't
Ken
think White
making an
Strings.
uncharacteristic mistake.
Oh, and that's gonna do it. He can't get back from that. All right.
One mistake on that forward smash cost Ken
Tai
that
Jim, we
round.
just started.
My philosophy is like, you know, if you put pressure on anybody, they're gonna crack eventually. Like as long as it's like perfect pressure, you know, they'll mess up before you do, even though like what you're doing is harder maybe.
PC was just pulling out all kinds of new tricks that we hadn't seen before.
As long as like you apply it correctly, I feel like you can force like any good player to do something they don't want to do.
Oh my god, I don't know if people at home can hear you over the screaming of everyone. That ridiculous combo PC Chris just pulled off. Oh, and then, oh my god! Oh wow, okay. What we saw there, PC continuously did his attack that would have killed Ken, but he hit a perfect, what's called a ledge tech. Bounces off the ledge and is able to survive. Very difficult to do, especially with Marth.
It was really, really hype. I mean, since there were so many people, like a lot of people were watching, and you know, everyone got really into it. Wes was obviously talking a lot of smack.
Ken off the ledge. He needs to get back on. Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was going to end right there, but both players are alive. PC Chris is barely
with the
alive.
high
Good directional
ceiling,
influence.
PC survives that attack.
Both players are on their feet again. They hit each other. Oh my god.
The crowd goes
Ken flies off the
wild.
left side. Wow. Did not know where that was going.
Oh man, that crowd like ripped me a new one.
Again, you can hear that. I'm going to put the mic up to the audience.
You have someone screaming next to your face and stuff. It's kind of hard to concentrate and win.
It's now 5-3 in PC Chris's favor to finish out the best of 11. The crowd is going absolutely out of control, and we're even wondering if it's going to affect the player's gameplay, and then some more officials might have to step in, and Ken
Looks
is
like
going
he's
to
gonna
be
get
it.
this one.
And Ken's going to take a match. It's just back and forth right here.
All right, PC just needs one more, while Ken needs two.
He started noticing on certain stages his Marth just couldn't even do it. He'd switch to Fox.
Wow, and Ken with a character switch here. Now he feels more comfortable playing Fox because of the level. And in the close quarters here, it's going to be a lot of comboing.
That makes it a whole new ball game. Now you're dealing with one of the fastest character, and he's running around.
Ken with the little hits, just keeping him away. He can't recover. Wow, Joe, this is the last match. Pretty excited.
Came down to the last match too, like the very last match of the second set.
Ken's hating every hit here because he needs to get the kill soon without racking too much damage. Every time he's hit, and with ledge guard opportunity, is he not going to make it? Oh my god, 3 stock to 1.
When anyone wins a match against Ken, you kind of say, okay, well, this is just one match of a set of 5, it doesn't matter. And very slowly you realize that history is in the making.
He needs to be careful on the ledge. Above all, careful on the ledge is what PC's got to be thinking. Oh, that's going to do it! The finals go to PC Chris, winner of the New York
I'm pretty sure this is
City
MLG
Open.
Anaheim.
Overthrowing the King of Smash, Ken. That's it. $2,000 and a lot of glory for PC Chris. Congratulations.
I end up winning. Which
No, this is MLG New York. I
couldn't
remember
believe it,
this. This is
especially in
Ken's,
front of, like,
one of
everybody,
Ken's
like,
losses.
all my New York homies had my back.
Just the fact that it was like this new, like up and coming player, you know, it gave a lot of people like inspiration who were just starting to play Melee. Like, okay, this guy's still new and he just beat the best player.
An MLG guy came with like directly with like a microphone and camera. Like I was not expecting this, and he's like, "You have anything to say to
Okay,
your
that's
fans
awesome,
out
Kip.
there?" And I'm like thinking to myself, like I have no fans. There's cameras going off. Like I like to think of it as like, you know, a little revolution in New York Smash itself. We, you know, turned the page on something old, and now we moved on to bigger and better things. Winning like a national.
I think this is probably
best
PC
player.
Chris's
I was
first
the
time
person
beating
to do
me.
that.
I would always beat Azin. When PC Chris beat me, it was just like gave the East Coast a new hope. They're like, oh, we can beat him.
The East Coast finally had their answer to Ken. The savvy new champion found instant fame, not only for
I got
his
third
technical
at that
skills,
tournament.
but for being what few pro gamers had been before. Cool.
He's cool as shit. He's
Yeah, PC Chris is
he's
pretty
humble.
cool.
Well, as humble as a guy that's that good at something could be.
Cigarettes, lighter, phone, wallet, money, keys. Alright.
PC Chris was the most laid-back person I've met within the pro spectrum.
He's a very funny guy too. He like cracks jokes. He like trash talks all the time, like jokingly though.
They just can't handle me right now. unlike those cool rodents in the back, it's cold, baby.
It's,
waiting for the party to happen.
the party's already happening, my dude.
Well, some of the stories I might say might get PC Chris in trouble, so.
These are all my friends.
I wasn't a part of any of this right here, so I can't really commentate.
I bust my ass all day. I'm hungover. It sucks.
I never got the party with PC Chris. Actually, I take that back. I think so. Back in the Melee days, back in the golden days, I think PC Chris was actually getting housed by a player, an NDVA player called Kaiser, and Kaiser would often just hang out with PC Chris. And I think this is like for a really, really long time, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks that PC Chris would be in NDVA. And so me, Chillinger, and Asden, we actually went over to Kaiser's place to go hang out with PC Chris. And we would just we just drank alcohol. Nothing too crazy. We had 2 girls there. But yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. I'm pretty sure PC Chris was there. And but yeah, it was definitely fun times.
Good I can hide. I'm miserable. I really am. Good customers.
Ken is a competitor, which I think is an important distinction among Smashers, and one that I've always preferred the competitor to the non-competitor. Your Chudads, your Ken, someone who will try to the last, which is why Chudad is one of my favorite players of all time, even though I've spent much of my life hating him. He does not give up. He can be down in a set, and he keeps playing, and he keeps playing, and he keeps playing. He doesn't give up halfway through, and that's Ken. Ken wasn't someone who just stumbled upon the skill. Ken was someone who wanted to win.
White, we've got the winners bracket final here, Ken versus PC.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Really excited. Really excited. For those who don't know, Ken's been the reigning champ at this game for a long time. And he's coached, or any player for that matter, really hasn't been able to overthrow him. And then last event at MLG New York, PC Chris beat him and won the entire tournament.
Going into Dallas, I obviously felt good about where I stood because I won the previous.
That's okay. Hold on. Let me rewind really quick. That's Kaiser right there. He was PC Chris's really, really good friend at the time. They used to hang out with each other a lot. It was you guys are gonna see Milk Tea later on, but it was like Milk Tea and PC Chris, like they were dating, and also Milk Tea's best friend at the time, her name was like Katie Smirnova or something like that. She was dating Kaiser, and so they would go on double dates. I'm pretty sure double cyber dates. Like they'd be in a chat room all the time. They were on AOL Instant Messenger all the time. I'm pretty sure. And but yeah, that's Kaiser. He's a really, really cool guy. Quick comment. MLG Dallas. I ended up getting eliminated by Neo, like second round or something like that. And then I made a stomp through losers bracket, and I beat like everybody in losers bracket. But ended up beating PC Chris at this tournament, and I ended up getting second.
About where I stood because I won the previous tournaments. I did well in the time between at the locals and things. So, like by my knowledge, I was like, let's go for a repeat.
For the first
Kaiser's still around.
stage is Streamland 64.
He just doesn't go to that many tournaments.
So PC can either get that on random or pick it himself. And PC Chris struck Fountain of Dreams. Obviously a little bit worried about his short hop lasering there.
Kaiser and PC Chris, they eventually kind of like fall off from being friends.
I just didn't know
because
what he was going to do.
PC Chris lived in New York and Kaiser lived in NDVA.
Strategy because his strengths are when
so
he's
they eventually
the match, and when
didn't talk
he's,
to each other as much.
Me, like I could just play my game.
But they were good friends.
And even like if I'm not playing my best, I think I could still beat him.
Now PC, the Falco, is going to try to get inside on the mark.
Nice double laser there from PC.
And Ken continues to point out the counter.
Yeah, Neo Red Roy.
He puts his sword up, you just saw it again, and basically just takes the Falcon's attack and shoots it back. Despite how cool it might sound.
So as you guys can see there, Ken, he was using the counter move with Martha. There was like a huge controversy back in the Melee days, back in the golden days, in 2006, where Mita King actually taught Ken that. They were talking on AIM one day. Mita King was like, "Hey Ken, you're having trouble beating PC Chris, right?" And then Ken's like, "Yeah." Why? What do you want, Meaty King? And then Meaty King's like, "Why don't you just try to counter his lasers whenever he approaches you?" And then Ken's like, "Oh, never thought of that. I'll try it." And then he ended up using it at this tournament, and he beat PC Chris badly using it. And to this day, the controversy is Ken says that Meaty King never taught him that, and but Meaty King says that he did teach him how to use that. And so there was the controversy. I don't really know what happened, but there's a little bit of controversy on there.
It's generally considered mostly a useless move, but for Ken to use it repeatedly on one of the best players in the country and 3-stock him it's impressive.
No one would use a Marth counter. That's like a forbidden move that you use Marth. But I used it against PC Chris, so every single time he would laser me, I'd counter and he'd jump in and get hit.
He, discovered that if I'm just mindlessly approaching him all the time, he can just, try to bait it and counter my approach with Marth's counter.
Yeah, I told Meaty King to drop it. He was making a huge deal of it back in
the way to
2006.
use new tactics and new techniques with Marth, so it looks like he's doing it again against PC.
The fact that Ken invented Marth, look at him go with that counter. I can't believe it.
Well, obviously, I knew what he was doing. I could see what's happening is happening to me, but telling yourself to avoid it and, telling your hands not to, it's one thing.
Here's a quick little story. I remember when back when I played PC Chris at OC3. Just like PC Chris is saying right now that he sees the counter coming, but he doesn't know how to avoid it. Back when at OC3 I was playing against PC Chris, and he noticed that I like to shield approach every single time, and I like to grab people every single time. He noticed that, so he kept grabbing me with Fox. As Fox, he would grab my ice counters and forward throw me. And he would do that every single time. He ended up destroying me doing that. Just forward throw, forward throw, forward throw. Because if you forward throw ice climbers with Fox, it hits both of them back. And so you can't really punish with the other ice climber. And so I just felt really, really dumb losing to that. But it ended up working. So PC Chris is mad smart.
You can't count unless you know you're going to get it off. But wow! But Ken obviously showing us that he knows that he can get it off. He says, "Don't worry, guys. I know."
It was brilliant to see. Even though I prefer PC Chris as a person and a teammate, I enjoy seeing Ken, the viciousness come out, and he did, and reigned him as superior.
That's it.
That's it for Ken. Ken works his way back, hopefully silencing some critics in his mind.
He outplayed me, he beat me, exposed me. It was, definitely a downfall after winning New York. Suddenly, wow, was it just a fluke? Can I really hang with the top players, or am I just going to be that guy who's placed below them?
Yeah, shortly after 2008, after he went to, I think it was Pound 3, if you guys didn't know, he pretty much quit. He went into Brawl after Melee kind of died out. Everybody was trying to kill Melee back in the day. He went into Brawl for a year, and then he eventually quit. He actually beat me in Brawl. He beat my Kirby in Brawl, which is pretty impressive. So PC Chris was mad good in Brawl, but he didn't really like it because it was a really slow game. So shortly after, he didn't like Brawl, and so he just started working. I guess he started partying and working his full-time job. I guess that's what he does. He's probably a server or something. So I'm pretty sure he still does that now.
Eventually, I just had to make a decision whether if I just wanted to keep working and just do the normal life thing.
Dale T-Berg, thank you.
School, or if I wanted to try, test this Smash thing out for Ron. And I was at the age I was like, why not? I was flying around everywhere, winning money, experiencing new places, new food, building new relationships with people.
She didn't even look like a smasher, She looked good, I'm not gonna lie, but you see guys Flock, and I'm like, relax.
That's Milk Tea.
Let her
Pieces
breathe,
girlfriend.
I was like, hey, I play Smash. And of course, the general reaction came, a girl that plays Smash?
Okay.
It's hard to break.
Okay, I got a little story about Milk Tea. This is really, really funny. Oh my gosh. So I remember it was at FC Diamond, I believe. And so I was talking with Milk Tea, at this time, I was just being really random. And so I was talking with Milk Tea, and then I told Milk Tea that I was Asian, and then Milk Tea's like, "What? No way! From where?" And then I told her I was like Vietnamese or something, and then she actually believed me. And then I was like, "Hey, Milk Tea, we should get other Asians to form an Asian crew." And this is at a Smash tournament, so that's what we did. We just grabbed one Asian, and then we brought him to the crew, and then we got another Asian and brought him to the crew, and then we eventually had like 4 or 5 of us, just together. And then afterwards, we started playing something called 13. It's an Asian game. It's pretty much it's a card game. That's basically what it is. And so we were just playing that. And but yeah, this whole time I told Milk Tea that I was Asian, but obviously Spanish. And she actually believed me. I thought it was freaking hilarious. And I was just like cracking up in my head the whole entire time while I'm making the Asian group. Gosh, it was so funny. But yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, it's just so awkward. What can you possibly say to this stranger that's gonna make him feel like this guy's definitely not trying to hit on me right now? Nothing.
You know what might even attract guys even more is that she's good at the game.
I somehow got introduced to her. I don't really remember how, like friends with a friend, like, oh, PC is Milk Tea.
I was just like amazed at his Falco and watching him, and I asked him for a photo.
We were at that age where we had enough similarities to date, and like we're both attending these tournaments, like why not?
We've definitely fought over Smash. He gets always mad at me because I always would hit him during teams, but I thought we were a pretty legitimate team.
We teamed at so many tournaments while we were dating, and we got so close to winning, but we come up short. The day we break up, we go to a tournament and we win. It's like, that's how you know. We're still friends to this day.
Buddies.
She was going into college and stuff like that, so less time for practicing, whereas I was just playing Melee. Everyone was like, oh, Ken just figured out this stuff, and like now he's gonna beat PC Chris every time, so like everybody knew about it, so I needed to figure out, something to do about that. Trying to adjust mid-match, that seemed to be my weakness. Like if there were certain players that just knew my style more, like I had trouble against Asin too, and I feel like he's one of those players that just knows how I play. I knew I couldn't be completely like defensive and just like try to avoid the counter, because like I said, he'll be playing his matchup then, like he'll be forcing me to make bad decisions. So it's like the term I like to use is called like hot cold. Sometimes run up and don't do anything, see what he does, but at the same time sometimes I would just approach him. So like I was just trying to mix things up just so he couldn't always just be throwing out counter, and if he did, he'd get punished for it, and at least start to think about doing it. That's what I was trying to do going into Anaheim.
MLG Anaheim came out the 3rd tournament, and they had a really great showdown.
See this, I think PC Chris is going to stick with Falco most of the way through. You'll probably see lots of traditional
I like both.
Stage selections though.
I was there as a spectator, front row of the bleachers, and there's cameras and there's lights and a stage, and absolutely the energy was there.
Local tournaments, you're used to playing at like a comic book store, like sandwiched in between some guy that's 300 pounds and some other guy, and you're like sweaty and you're just doing anything you can just to stay on the TV and play matches. And 2 years later, I'm suddenly on a stage.
The bottom middle of the stage. Ooh, excellent forward smash from Ken, and he gets the first kill.
Good read by PC Chris though.
This is MLG Anaheim, one of the hypest sets I've ever seen.
He managed to totally erase that stock deficit.
Well, I said he needed something magical, and he delivered. Wow. Wow. Excellent play from PC Chris. He's really overtaking his trend now. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Poor Spice has a really, really good question. He says, do you feel like you deserved an episode because you were so good during this time? Why or why not? I'm going to say, I mean, obviously, I definitely think I deserved an episode. So, like, back in the day when everything was happening, I was ranked second best in the country. I was probably, like, I got, like, second, third at every single MLG, while, like, you know, Ken would fall off and get 7th, and then PC Chris would fall off and get, like, 13th, losing to Hugs and stuff like that. So, like, I was definitely the most consistent player back in the day. And, like, everybody was, like, you know, trying to rise up, get first and everything. But yeah, I definitely think I deserved an episode. I had a lot of, you know, a lot of like amazing tournaments that, you know, that I did well in. I got a lot of stories to tell as well. So, like, let's see. One of the things that probably makes me feel like I really have a, you know, I deserved an episode is that, like, you know, I won Pound 2. PC Chris, I think Korean DJ was there. It was PC Chris, Meet King, and I think Azin was there too. But yeah, most of the big people there, I beat all of them. And then I won an MLG Nashville, and then I also I won a whole bunch of tournaments, and yeah, I definitely did think I deserved an episode, but unfortunately, I didn't get one. I guess, you know, I wasn't as hype as everybody, like, you know, I mean, I guess as Travis, you know, the creator who made the documentary, thought I was. It could have something to do with my character or my playstyle. Like, I don't really think too much. I kind of, like, just base my skill around a lot of luck and just people not knowing what to do against my character. So it makes it kind of, like, you know, hard to understand what I'm thinking. But, like, you know, Travis can understand what Ken's thinking. Travis can understand what PC Chris is thinking. Travis can understand what probably Muti King is thinking, and Korean DJ and Azin. But I don't think he can really understand, like, what I was thinking, because I played, like, such a weird character. Nobody knew what to do against Ice Commerce back in the day. And yeah, I mean, but still, like, you know, you probably could have used that as, like, you know, the basis of my episode. Like, oh, this low tier player comes out of nowhere and makes Ice Commerce high tier. You know, I was the only person using Ice Commerce back in the day. Placed second, third at every tournament, but unfortunately, yeah, I didn't get my episode, but it's okay. It's no worries. Like, I think, you know, the people who got their episodes, you know, congrats for them. Like, I don't want to take any of their fame. They all deserve what they deserved. Like, you know, Ken got on Team Liquid, Chillin got on Team Liquid, Hungrybox got on, I mean, Meet King, and, you know, and like all these other players right on this in the documentary, they're all doing extremely well. And because of this documentary, Smash was able to flourish as an esports and make itself into a known thing. And we're able to get into Evo, we're able to get into MLG last year, and we're able to consistently be in every single in, I think it's like CEO, and like, and we also have all these esports companies coming to us as well, and like, you know, Team Liquid, like I said, you know, Evil Geniuses, Alliance, Team Solo Mid, freaking Team Solo Mid, Cloud9, and yeah, and it's just like really, really amazing, like what this Smash documentary did for everybody in the Smash community, not just, you know, like, you know, the big five, but everybody in the you know, in the Smash community. It's provided a lot of growth. It provided lots of opportunities for kids, you know, such as you guys, to, you know, go ahead and hang out with a bunch of other people. And it's not just like, you know, 10 people at a tournament now. Kazer, yo, what's up, dude? Chinese Travis, yo, what's up, dude? Travis says, chill, let's play League. F the stream. Anyways, yeah, so it provided a great opportunity for you guys to, instead of, you know, going to tournaments with 10 people, now you guys are going to tournaments with like 60 people, man tournaments, local tournaments, and you guys get to enjoy like all the, you know, all the amazing things that came from the documentary, all this amazingness, and for me, I'm enjoying myself here too. So there's, I mean, I have like, you know, 192 of you guys here because of this. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Smash documentary. You know, this Razer mic, I'm sponsored by Mortality Esports, so, you know, I definitely, you know, appreciate everything that Travis has put in, but But, if I don't get an episode, it's okay, because I still got to, benefit from the Smash documentary as well as everybody else did. So I guess that's my answer.
They're realizing just how fast Smash players do things on their controllers. It takes a lot of skill to play this game at the level that you guys are watching it right now.
Came so close, down to the wire.
The last game, last match, last stock.
The West Coast crowd is going nuts. They're chanting Cali.
I'm just reading what everything you guys are saying, Travis. You guys are hilarious.
Now they need him to get this victory for the West Coast.
This is sort of a revenge match from back in New York where the East Coast crowd kind of tore Ken up.
Oh yeah, definitely the hypest set that I've ever seen in any single Smash set. In all time, I think.
This is exactly what Ken wants.
I love this stage too. It's a great stage.
Oh, wow. Morphing stage.
This is grand finals. Last match wins the whole entire MLG tournament.
That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it.
There's me with the West Coast, heck yeah.
That was like all the butterflies or something.
Yeah.
They both came up on their shoulders, and
no, I'm
even
kidding.
though PC lost, it was still a great tournament experience.
Huge, like a sign of relief.
I didn't really care.
Yeah, West Coast is like
Ken and
family.
PC Chris
Like, we
won,
really
half as
treat
much
each other
as
like
I cared
family,
that
I
people were
think.
actually watching, because the Halo kids were watching, and adults were watching, and girls were watching, and that's the direction I wanted to go. I always wanted more from Melee. I didn't want it to stay as it was. I wanted to explode into something different. I wanted it to be like poker or NASCAR, where it garners this fan base that's a little bigger.
Even though like I didn't walk home with the win or the money, and like people were still saying, "Oh, Ken's better than PC," but like I knew inside that like I went there and I did what I wanted to do.
Okay, so it looks like Arch Reaper has a pretty good question. He says, including yourself, who all do you think feels deserves an episode, not counting the upcoming feature film with Armada and PB? Is that... I didn't know that film is going to be involved PB. I thought it was just an Armada episode. That's pretty crazy. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and answer your question. So, I think that the top 5 right now deserve an episode. So, I mean, they can probably redo Mecha King, they can redo Mango, and then as well as include Hungrybox, Dr. PB, and Armada. And they should probably do like a sub episode for Leffen or something like that. I think that would be a great idea. But other than that, maybe they can do like sub episodes of like all the the lower players back in the day from the Golden Age, like Wes, me, Chillin' Dude, all the like really popular players back in the day. So I think maybe like we can get like an episode or something like that. Can't really think of anybody else like off like the top of my head. But maybe like something from West Coast. Like I'm pretty sure people will like nominate people for that. But yeah, I think we deserve like sub episodes. But I think they should make another Smash documentary of the Platinum Age. Definitely talk about all the esports organizations that are sponsoring Smash players and talk about I guess the documentary. Oh my gosh, that'd be an amazing idea. And then they can just talk about, the top 5 right now, the top 5 gods, including Leffen. But yeah, that's what I think. That'd be a great idea for our next documentary. Poor PC Chris, he decided to relax after he lost his tournament.
Just One tournament that's less known that I went to was one in Hawaii. I went to Honolulu, got picked up by some smashers who just were excited to play me and were like very excited that I was coming to Hawaii. Like, I'm excited to go to Hawaii, like, thank you, like, of course, like, I'm gonna do that. I tried to learn how to surf. Like, the competitive stubborn person I am, like, it just took me so long to at least
Unit 976, you gotta rephrase your question. That was hard to understand.
And then like the next day I was trying to learn how to get up, and like at the time I was like, why am I doing this? But like at the end of the day it was so fun, and like being able to at least stand up for a couple seconds was like totally worth like 10 hours in the water.
I'm probably the worst out of all 4 of those guys. Jimmy, Luster, and 88. Wobbles is probably the best. Flyman need a second
trip, and it was just honestly the best time of my life, probably. Like, I really enjoyed myself. Everyone in Hawaii, I mean, shout outs to all of them. They made me feel like a king. They didn't need to, but they did. I had a great time. They were all kind. Hopefully I can go back someday. Just like being on the beach, you know, got the beers, got some food.
Daniel T111. I don't really talk to Ken's family in general.
It really doesn't get much better than that.
As much anymore, if at all.
He understood the game like decently well, but you would never have guessed he was going to be one of the best players in the world at that point.
I landed one hit and got wrecked.
You have to factor in the money.
I was all kind of shaken up in my head. I didn't know what was going on.
Arguably the best player in the world at that time, and you're down 3-1 and about to lose a set.
He felt like he was being pushed to the end of the wall in the house. We have here the epitome of MLG.
Like, his goal was first, period.
This is my dream.
Okay, so Unit 976, great question. He says, I want to know how you and the other top players reacted when Melee was taken off MLG, if there was anything notable to talk about. We definitely felt like there was something missing in our lives because we didn't get, you know, free travel anymore. We didn't get those free stipends. They would give us stipends to travel all over the United States to play in their MLG tournaments. And when we didn't have that anymore, we were kind of like sad, like I guess, you know, a lot of us just stopped playing. Like Ken stopped playing after MLG. PC Chris, you know, he obviously stopped playing. Crane DJ stopped playing. I continued into Brawl, and you know, I tried to do my own thing there. But most of the top players, aside from Mutaking, we all stopped playing for the most part. So that's probably another reason why, like, you know, we all decided to stop playing Melee, just because MLG was not supporting it anymore. They were doing their own thing, I guess. I'm not really sure what happened, but that's what happened. They tried their best to do underground tournaments. They called it grassroots tournaments, where they would support us with money, and so they would give us like you know, venue, and they would also you know, give us a nice little like pot bonus as well. But it wasn't anything like the MLG experience. Like the MLG experience was super professional, greatly run tournaments. You know, you get to travel. They pay for your travel. And you felt like a king. They gave us cell phones, and like it was, oh my gosh, it was like, you know, you felt like a god back then. Like yeah, I definitely miss those days. I'm pretty sure everybody in the you know, in the top 10 missed those days. I think it was the top 10 that got sponsored out to those tournaments. But yeah, we definitely missed those days. So we were pretty sad about it, and we kind of felt like, you know, what's next? You know, what's happening? You know, what's the next step from here? I guess.
Good. No laughing so far.
Here's that improvement.
Alright. So we're gonna have to talk about the double DVD theory. My friend has this theory that on Dreamland in Melee, there's a, you know, King DDD is floating in the background,
He swore he's seen 2 at once, at the same time, like one in one corner and one in another. And ever since he's told me, like, whenever I play Tom in friendlies, like, I'll be on the prowl for that double duty. Like, I'll be Falcon, and I'll have him in this, like, favorable position, but, like, I can't see enough of the screen, so I'll run to the other side, just so, like, I can get the full view of the screen. He says this needs to be on the documentary. He swear he's taking a picture of it, and I told him if he finds it, then we'll have something to talk about in the community. Until then, it's just a theory. It's just a theory. The double DD theory.
Okay, well, that's it for episode 5, guys. I just wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and take a break. When I come back, I'm going to go ahead and we'll get into some matches in Melee. I'm going to do some Melee matches, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play some ads, but don't go anywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys still have questions for me about the documentary, I'll be here to answer any of them. But yeah, I'll be back, guys. Peace.